Hi, welcome back to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Plurk and Instagram, I am Mel-Tran Designs. There's a group on Facebook, and there's a group on Ravelry as well under Mel-Tran Designs, so please feel free to join us. Today is Monday, April 28th, 2014. This is episode 53. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. Thank you for trying me out. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it so much. It's been not quite 2 weeks. I didn't record it all last week, but I was kind of at the end of the other one, so maybe about a week and a half since I recorded. And not much really has happened since then. It hasn't been super busy or anything, so I have a few things written down for happenings this week, and actually just like one thing for happenings this week, and then the rest is just kind of what's going on coming up segment, whatever. So anyway, I'm actually recording a little earlier than I have been. Eli's still home. I've been waiting until he goes to school and then recording, but I was like, he's eating lunch, things are good, I'm just hanging out anyways, so I figured I'd record. And I wrote it all down on my phone today, so I'll be kind of marking it off as I go, so that way I can make sure I cover everything. Because every time I finish and I click end and I'm like, oh, there was that one thing, and it's not usually worth like making an additional thing to add into it. It just is like, dang it. So anyways, happenings this week. One thing that's exciting for us that has nothing to do with knitting at all, we have started the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover, and I'm super excited about it. We have a plan in place, we have our budget, we're ready to go. If you're not familiar with who Dave Ramsey is, it's not like a quick get rich quick scheme or anything like that. He pretty much just teaches you in steps how to get out of debt and get ahead, essentially. So we are on baby step 1 right now, which is to really quickly get $1,000 into savings and set it aside as your emergency fund. And then we'll be moving on to baby step 2, which is your debt snowball, and that's where you are for quite a long time, because what you do is you start off by paying a little bit higher payments on your smallest debt, and then as that one gets paid off, you take all of what you were paying for that and you roll it over into the next one and you pay, da-da-da. So as of right now, we should be done with baby step 1, which is the emergency fund, the $1,000 emergency fund, by the end of next month. And then after that, like I said, we'll go on to baby step 2 and whatnot. It means we're going to be cutting some stuff out. We don't actually do a whole lot of extra that could be cut out, but things, little extra things that we do with the kids that cost money and things like that. And we explain to them, we're just going to have to not do some of that stuff for a little while, but it's going to make it so that we can do bigger stuff later. So anyways, I'll probably talk about it from time to time just to give you updates and whatnot. If you're interested in, seeing what it is, you can go to daveramsey.com. I have the book, The Total Money Makeover, that I read and Jake read, and we both are just really excited about it. So, anyway, where's my, there was a book I was going to grab. Since I'm talking about that already, the only acquisition I have was actually his newest book, and it's called Smart Money, Smart Kids, and it's about raising your kids to be smart with money. And we actually had already implemented some of the stuff that he's talked about, so it was kind of neat to be like, hey, we're already doing this. But what I like is that what we're doing works for our age of kids, but it's nice to read kind of how you transition that into when they're teenagers and stuff like that. And we're knocking on the door of that with Anansi. She'll be 11 in August, and so yeah, it's been really cool just to read it and just get some ideas of things like that. So anyway, so there you go. I'm gonna mark that off too. That's done. All right. The only other thing that I had written down for happenings this week was last night I pulled out all the cloth diapers that I bought or that I picked up a few weeks ago and washed them. They're actually right over there on the rack. They dried overnight. You always wash them before you use them for the first time. It makes them absorbent and just cleans anything off of them and stuff. So, anyways, it was I was like, oh, the washing machine's empty, and I'm thinking about the diapers at the same time. So let's just go ahead and wash them really fast. So I got that done, and anyway, just kind of getting stuff ready. There's a bookshelf that I'm going to empty out that's down in our family room that I'm going to move into the bedroom that will be kind of where we have all the stuff for the baby. We're going to put her clothes there and the diapers and stuff like that and just have it all in one area because we don't have an extra room for her. So her stuff will just go in the corner of our room. So anyways, yeah. So that was fun. I like seeing them all hanging up. It's not for everybody, but I love cloth diapering. I know. I'm probably weird, but anyway, so yep, that was, I don't know, guess that's it. We're getting closer. As of tomorrow, we have only about 6 weeks left until my due date. So it really, and that's 40 weeks. Anything after 37 is safe. So it could be anywhere between, it could be 3 weeks away or, the full 6. Who knows? Anywhere between there. Hopefully not over. The most I've ever gone over was 1 day. So I'm just not including that in my thinking. Because I'm just not going to will that on myself. I'm already uncomfortable enough. I don't want to go over. No, I'm just going to say that's not going to happen. So anyway, all right, let's move on. Going on / coming up, the only thing we have going on right now is there's 2 things, I guess, technically. We have the garment knit along still going on for April and May. It's not too late to join in, especially if you're going to make something small. It's a garment. No accessories, please. Socks, scarves, it needs to be like a sweater or a vest or, something, pants, shorts. Doesn't have to be adult size. Don't think huge for those. So anyway, like an article of clothing is a garment. So anyways, if you have questions, let me know. Yep, that's going on April and May. If you happen to make a pattern by Hannah Fettig, you can put your picture in on my group, and then you can also enter in for the drawing on the Wolf Farms podcast group, because that's kind of where I got the idea. So, and of course, the Year of the Q. I forgot to mention that last time. And if you've been watching, then you know what's going on anyways. But for the new viewers, this year I am knitting 100% from my Q. My Q was set by December 31st at 11:59, with a couple of exceptions that I'm taking liberty on, as far as I didn't know I was having a girl. And so there are a couple of things that I've added since then that I want to make for the baby, and I would say that's my prerogative as the pregnant lady and as the one who designed the Year of the Q. But there's just like 2 or 3 things that I've added, baby things. So everything else, though, 100% from my Q. And actually almost everything I'm making as well is coming out of my stash. Not because it was on purpose, but because a lot of the things that are in my queue are there because I was like, hey, I have this yarn, so I'm going to go look for patterns that fall within the specifications of this yarn that I have. So I went searching with that yarn in mind, and then found a pattern to go with it. So I'm not like on a yarn diet specifically or anything like that. I just happen to have a lot of things in my queue that I can already make with yarn that I have, which is nice because I do like to use what I have in my stash because the stuff I have in my stash is gorgeous and I bought it for a reason. So, you know, I like to work that down. So anyways, check that out and knit from your queue. You don't have to be as strict as I am. If you added something to your queue 2 weeks ago and you want to knit it and put it in the picture thread, go for it, the finished object thread. This is just a fun knit along that's going on through the year. It's nothing fancy. If you want to put the date that you queued it, or you know, the month and year or whatever, that's fine. Some people are, some people aren't. So anyway, it's just casual, you know, whatever. So, all right, let's mark those off. Okay, we have some works in progress. The first thing I'm going to show you is a baby sweater that I started out of some hand spun. I don't have the name with me. I apologize. It's a French name, and I should have because I can't remember it. So let me. Oh, good grief! There's all sorts of extra yarn here. All right, and it looks really huge, but I'll tell you why. First I'm gonna show. Oh, I was like, there's a hole there. It's all right. There's supposed to be. First, I'm going to show you what it looks like knit, and then I'll tell you why it's so huge. So this is some yarn that I spun last year. Knittables was having a spin along where you took 2 different braids of yarn that you didn't think went together, spun them and plied them together, and I was really happy with how this turned out. And it has lots of tinsely sparkle in it. Here's what I have left from the first ball or skein or whatever, and then I have a whole another skein of it. The reason this is so huge, even though it's a baby sweater, is because it is one of those like kimono style wraparound sweaters. So it'll actually only be about this big because it, like I said, it wraps around. So I have these. This is a sleeve, and this is a sleeve. And then, so yeah, you can see that's how big it'll be. So it's a little bigger than what the pattern says it's going to be because I was a little bit bigger than Kate. Can you wait just a minute? Why don't you go change really quick? Can you do that for me?
Yeah, and then I'm going to get back later.
Okay. Anyways, it's a little bit bigger, but that's okay because the baby's going to be born in June, so if she can't wear it till like September or October, that makes a little bit more sense. So, anyways, there's that. And it's on bigger needle because it's a bulky yarn. It's on size 10 or 10 and a half. I don't have my gauge sitting here. Go look at my page if you want to know. I can't remember if it's a 10 or a 10 and a half. So, anyways, I love it. I'm having a lot of fun knitting it. Now I have to, I kind of stopped because I have to make the sleeves and then join it. This is a free pattern too, so I'm not telling you anything that you can't just see for free. And I don't have a long enough cord to do magic loop free right now, so I just kind of set it off to the side a little bit. So, anyways, so there's that. The next thing that I have that I'm working on is the featherweight cardigan, which is a Hannah Fettig pattern. I've made quite a bit more progress since last time because I've actually been working on it. Eli, I see you. Can you please go change though? Let me show you. Last time I only had maybe about this much knit, so I've added a few inches. I know it doesn't look like much. It's a lace weight cardigan, so it doesn't grow very fast. Here's the shoulder there. I have, what did I figure out last night? Like 16 or 18 more rows that I need to do, and then I will be ready to take the sleeves off, put them on a holder, and then join it. And that'll be nice because you get rid of all those sleeve stitches in between, so the rows go faster. It's not, for me, it's not a super fast knit just because it's lace weight yarn. And I'm on a size 4. Actually, I'm on a 3 and a 4. I talked about that last time. I knit across with the 3 and I purl back. I knit with the 4, purl back with the 3 because I purl looser than I knit in order to maintain gauge. So anyway, it's right now, I mean, it's super easy. It's just stockinette, and I don't mind it at all. Even with the number of stitches, the rows just take a while. So I'm going to try to, like, my goal is within the next, couple days to finish, good choice, to finish the increasing part so I can get the sleeves off. Do you want to come say hi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, go play for now, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I don't want you making faces over there, though, okay?
Why?
I want you to be quiet. I don't want you making faces at the camera. Yeah. So can you just play, please? Eli, look at me. Can you just play? Okay, thank you. The yarn that I'm using is called Legacy Lace by Brown Sheep. Here's my big skein of it. You get a ton, and it's cheap. It's like 24 bucks. It's not the softest ever when it's in the skein. It's actually more like a sock blend. It's like an 80-20 merino nylon blend. But after you wash it, it does soften up. And it says that you get, I think it's something like 1,500 yards, but all of their skeins are heavy. So you get more than that. In another one that I got, can you turn that down? In another one that I got, I had like 300 yards more than what they said. So they're very generous skeins. So, I mean, I've barely even made a dent on the outside of this. So, anyway. And yes, I'm pulling from the outside. With other weights of yarn, I don't, but with lace weight, I always pull from the outside because it collapses on itself and turns into a huge mess. So, alrighty, there is that one. I only have one other thing that, well, I have another thing I'm working on, but it's in designing. So I only have one other thing in my works in progress section that I've worked on. I didn't work on it this week at church because I was working on the featherweight, but I worked on it last week. And it is my soft. This is just my church knitting. Not even, like, it's not even my purse knitting. That's my featherweight at this point because it's still small enough. But I have this much done. If you'll remember, I started the first one back in like January. And these just aren't a priority. I mean, it's just for fun. It's from some Fiber Nymph Dye Works yarn. This is a base that she doesn't have anymore as far as I know. And it's her Let Me Love You colorway from last year, Valentine's Day. I've already made a pair of socks, but I had enough left over to make another pair of socks, and a second pair of socks. So that's what I'm doing here. And once my featherweight gets a little bit bigger and I don't want to take it to church with me, then this will go back into church and purse knitting. I don't go many places where I have to just sit, like doctor's offices and stuff like that. I don't go to places like that really, so I don't get a lot of purse knitting time. So that's why it's my church knitting, because I get a couple hours every Sunday. So anyway, so there's that. All right, on to FOs. I figured, I was like, I don't think I'm going to finish this featherweight, and I have to make something for my own knit along, the garment knit along. So I found this super cute bulky weight baby sweater and held two skeins of worsted weight yarn together, just a silver and a blue, and made it in like a day. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I'm sorry I don't know the name of it. It is in my projects though. And I do have a picture of this, so you'll know it's the right one. Just a top-down raglan. I mean, super, super, super easy. And I had a lot of fun knitting it. The yarn is from Hobby Lobby. My husband's friend actually gave it to me one year, and it's called Yarn Bee, B-E-E, Yarn Bee. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name of the base. It's just acrylic. I mean, it's nothing fancy at all. Completely machine washable. But can you see the shininess to it? It has, I don't know if it's rayon mixed in, or because you have, let me see if I can find one up close that I can show you. The shiny is actually like a chained yarn mixed in with just the regular yarn. Anyway, incredibly soft, super fun. I love knitting baby stuff. It's so fast. The other thing I have that was actually finished last time I recorded, but I didn't realize that I had left it somewhere. So I have it. I have them now. These are what are called longies in the cloth diapering world. It is a cloth diaper cover in the form of pants. You can see here where the gray spots are bigger, I did some short rows to allow for what we call cloth diaper butt because it's bigger than regular diaper butt. And this will actually be the cover that goes over the cloth diaper. You remember the days of the plastic covers and things like that? No more. We don't have to do that. So this will be the cover over the cloth diaper. Wool is amazing for diaper covers. And this is a pattern that I have owned for a long time. I made Eli a lot of pairs of these. It's called the Picky Pants pattern. And the yarn that I used is Cascade 220 in the charcoal gray and the, just a fun bright pink. So anyway, love them, love knitting them. I've never done the I-cord bind off for the pants before, and I really like it. It's flipping a little right there, but I also haven't soaked them either, and I'm not really that worried about it. So anyway, so much fun. You can make these in like 2 days. So anyway, all right. Boom, boom. I finished. Let me grab it. It's right there. Hold on one second. All right. Sorry about that. I finished one pucker sock. It looks so funny when it's not on, and I don't have my. I thought I had my sock blocker sitting over here. But it is finished. The class is also finished that I was teaching on it. And I've decided not to knit the other one quite yet just because the things that I'm working on I feel are a little bit more important. So I will make the second one. I'm thinking maybe it'll be part of my 6 Sock September challenge that I do every year. I can make a match to this. So anyways, there we go. The white is just some undyed that I have a huge cone of. And the rainbow is from Black Pug Studios that I got when I was up in northern Idaho a couple years ago. So anyway, there's that. And I know it's a hoe, not a faux. That's all right. I wanted to show it to you anyway. But the ends are woven in and everything. Like, it's completely finished. So good enough for me. Next on the list is, that's all for those. So designing. I do have one thing that I've been working on physically. I have some other things up here, and I've been doing some typing of them. But physically, I have something that I'm working on, and I'm not really going to show you a whole lot on it because I don't really show them off. But here's the yarn that I'm using. It's Brown Sheep Nature Spun, a whole cone of it with a little mohawk going on there. It's deciding to come off the top, and I don't know why, but anyways, it is the coffee bean colorway or something like that. It's brown, but it has a little hint of red to it, and I love it. So, and the cone is not expensive. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So here is what I'm knitting. Let's see if I can. I'll pull open the edge here so you can at least see some stitch definition. Come on. Get the end from sticking here. It has nice stitch definition. This is some seed stitch. And I'm using my fun rubber heart stitch markers. And that's all I'm going to show you, unfortunately. But I'm excited to show you when it's done. It's just not done yet. That is all that I have. Yay! I love marking stuff off on a list. It's nice. Oh, I did just think of, as far as coming up, I'm going to be in Salt Lake again. I'm actually going to be there 2 weekends in a row. The weekend of May 9th and 10th, and also the weekend of the 16th and 17th. I have nationals for me for clogging, and then the next weekend I have to turn around and go back for nationals for Anansi for dance. So we will be down there. If you happen to live in that area and want to get together, I will have some free time both times I'm down there. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. This was a nice quick one, which is awesome. That's kind of what I was going for. So anyway, I hope you have a great week. If you want to contact me, feel free to message me on Ravelry or on Plurk, or you can email me, melissa@meltrandesigns.com, and I will get back to you if you have any questions or anything like that. Otherwise, have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.